Comfortable pose, closing the eyes, and just setting up a breathing pattern of caring and connection. The deep inhale and a nice long exhale. Breathing in and out, caring and connection with all those aspects of our being and that infinite presence within. And breathing into the caring and connection with the created universe and the infinite without. Breathing in that love of life and all those events that happen therein. And breathing out love and life. Making our neck nice and long, our shoulders open and back. Finding that heart like a beacon into the world. Finding that center of that infinite friend within. Breathing in, breathing out, feeling that inner smile, which may morph into an outer smile. I can see Jenny smile from here even though she's invisible.
And I am smiling.
I know. I can hear it.
The other day I was doing silver sneakers in front of a mirror and I couldn't stop smiling. I'm going, what's wrong? I smile.
So we want to find that joy. We want to reignite that joy in our lives. And simple things can bring a smile to our faces that didn't do that before.
I think it was a short workout too. That has something to do with it.
So not too much sweating involved.
Yeah, short. Short to the point.
So then we'll turn to the side and push ourselves up with our hands because we're going to come into a standing position. Anchoring our feet into the earth. Breathing in and breathing out with that sense of caring and connection. Bringing the hands to the heart. And we're going to build this heart boundary around us. So inhaling the hands up and building those two hills. Exhaling the hands to the side and bringing them down to the feet. Building that heart, and then we'll build a reverse heart, inhaling the arms out to the sides and creating those two hills at the top of the heart and bringing it down to the heart. Inhaling back up into mountain pose, curving and making the top of the heart, bringing it all the way down to the feet, to the tail of it. And while we're down here, we're gonna hug our legs up, so wrapping our arms around our knees and squatting a little bit. So hugging those legs up, breathing in and out, while we're resting our chest on our knees. And then we'll straighten those legs up, bringing the hands down to the toes. And we're gonna do reverse heart here, bringing those arms out to the side and up and down to the heart center. Breathing in, breathing out, our intention for the class, which is building a heart space. So we'll send that heart barrier up one more time. So it's just like a protective shield that we're building, this heart shield around our being and coming back down to our toes. And as we come down to our toes this time, we're gonna put our hands in the folds of our arms and glide from side to side. And maybe around the legs to the ankles. Inhaling in one direction, exhaling in the other. Sending the love into our glutes and our lower back. Loving up the body today. Inhaling one long breath in one direction, exhaling one long breath in the other direction. Moving with love. Sometimes we can feel the hips and back letting us go and releasing us into the floor a little bit more deeply. So we'll stop in the center, dropping our hands down to the floor and slowly inhaling the back up, setting up those vertebrae, setting up those building blocks of the back. Unfurling, uncurling, stacking them on top, and then we'll do the Captain Picard, pulling our shirt down in front. As we stand ready at the helm to take off with our ship. Inhaling the left arm up, we're going to do arm circles. So inhaling the left hand up on a diagonal, shifting in the hips, turning to the side and sending that left arm down behind us. And then it glides around to the front. And diagonally, we raise it up again on that long inhale and exhale it down. Comes around, inhaling that arm back up, sliding around in the hips, exhaling down. And then we'll bring the other arm up, crossing the body, whipping the torso around, exhaling behind. Inhaling slowly up, twisting in the hips, exhaling down. And then we'll do it one more time. Getting those wings moving this morning. All of the angels in this class need these wing exercises. Inhaling both arms up and around. So sometimes we can feel the clutch catching a little bit as we do these full arm circles, because we don't fly much. And this time as we bring them around to the front, we're going to go in the opposite direction. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling the wings down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And then we're going to make figure eights, going all the way up, going all the way down, with both the hands in unison, sweeping from side to side. Creating that atmosphere of joy around our bodies. And then we're going to do figure eights with both hands, back and forth, in front. And then we're going to turn to the side and do the same thing, clearing the air. And then we're going to come to the front and to the other side. Clearing the air. Coming back to center and back to the hands at the heart. Hopefully you are not puffed up to 3 times your normal size like the birds in front of my house. It is cold out there. Everybody's fluffing their feathers out. So next we're going to come into a warrior one pose stance. So we'll have one lead foot pointing away, the back foot on a diagonal. Bringing the hands to the heart and feeling into the feet, pressing the feet into the earth, making sure that that pose can sustain movement. And then we'll breathe this mudra of peace into the world, opening the wings and bringing them down behind us, interlacing the fingers. Pressing into the feet, we're going to kind of push off as we do a gentle back bend, looking into the blue sky that is beyond these clouds today. And inviting that clarity into the heart, and then slowly coming to center and exhaling, and we're going to bend that front knee today. Bending that knee, so we're bringing the chest down to the knee. Sending that attitude of love and caring out into the earth's surface, where it's trapped. We're going to be the epicenter, and it's going to earthquake around in all directions. Sending that love out. Inhaling, coming slowly back up. And as we come up, the wings are going to spread. And we're going to turn towards the open side. And then we're going to bring the hands to the heart. And maybe even smile to all living beings on this side of the universe. And if you don't feel like smiling today, you can wish them all an Om Shanti, which makes us smile anyway. And then coming back to the center. Once again, we're going to send this peace into the world, opening the wings slowly, taking them behind, and interlacing those hands. So that pulls the shoulders down a bit, so be careful with that. But at the same time, the heart is opening like a beacon, shining that into the world, taking a deep breath, inhaling and coming up, imagining that blue sky coming into the heart as we exhale and come down. Bringing your chest onto your knee. Sending that caring and connection throughout the earth. Just like a tidal wave. Sending that vibration far. pushing into the feet, inhaling and coming up. And then we're going to release the wings and turn to the easy side. Dropping the hands down, bringing them to the heart. And smiling and wishing an Om Shanti to all living beings here. And maybe a smile and coming back to center. So shifting in those hips with the hands still at the heart and sending this into the world again. Opening the arms slowly, sending them behind, interlacing those fingers and inhaling up into the sky, making that heart connection with the sun, with the blue sky, with joy. And then exhaling to center, to the mountain, and down to the bent knee again. And sending that caring and connection coming from your heart center. It's pouring down into the earth, into the surface, and sending that message far. It's just like you're sending a Valentine to the world. Feeling that back foot, that back leg. And then we're going to push off, slowly coming up again. Releasing the wings, turning to the side. And we're going to wish peace and joy to all again. And then coming back to the center. This time we're going to fly the wings out and down, placing one hand on either side of the foot. And then popping them forward so we have a tripod. We have a little triangle here with the foot and the two hands. And we're going to raise that back leg up. Bending the knee to the side. Straightening the leg in the air. Bending the knee to the side. Straightening that leg to the air. Bending that knee. And placing that foot right next to its partner. Next to its neighbor. Bringing the hands back to the feet. And inhaling them up. As we come up into mountain pose once again. Snowy mountain. I think all of our mountains are snowy today in the Rockies. So then bringing these hands down to the heart center, and we're going to send the other foot back. We're having a wide stance again, that back foot on a bit of a diagonal. The feet are hip width apart. So building that base of the mountain. Growing the body upwards. Just like you're that tallest peak in Colorado or in the Himalayas. So as we come up, we pull in the abdominal center, we pull in the neck and chin. So we send this mudra of peace into the world again and extend the wings out and behind, just like a bird moving in slow motion, and sliding those wrists down over the glutes and back. Pressing our feet into the earth, bridging that connection, and inhaling up. So we've got our gaze in the heavens and our feet on the earth. Inviting that light into our hearts and minds, and exhaling to center and eventually down, and remembering we're bending that front knee today. So we're coming down on the leg. Then of course you can lift your arms or rest them on your tailbone. Once again, sending that tsunami of care and connection into the world. Pressing into those feet, because we're going to come up in a second. Inhaling and slowly coming up. As we come up, the wings unfurl, because we're going to turn towards the side. And once again, send a mudra of peace with all the charms of our minds and the love in our hearts. And maybe sneak in a smile. All living beings on this side, and inhaling and slowly turning towards the center. And we're going to begin this again. Sending that mudra into the world, expanding the wings, bringing them down, and interlacing the fingers. Inhaling up while we're pressing into the earth, inviting positivity into the heart and mind. Once we are full, coming up into mountain pose again, exhaling and at the same time bending into that front knee. Sending gentleness and softness into the world. Pressing into those feet. Feeling those leg muscles stabilizing, supporting. Then inhaling back up slowly. Unfurling those wings slowly and twisting. Twisting to the side, dropping the hands down and back to the heart. As we shine on this side of the world. Breathing in, breathing out, coming back to center. And one last time, sending this mudra of peace and balance into the world with open wings, with an open heart. And then tying those hands together behind the back, inhaling up as we allow light to take us hostage. Infecting ourselves with light, with sunshine, with caring. And once our gas tank is full, we're going to come upright into mountain pose. And once again, bending that knee, exhaling forward, coming down on the knee. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we're going to bring those hands down. So we're setting up a triangle again between the two hands and the foot. And we're going to lean into those hands so that we can lift that back leg up, bending the knee to the side, stretching out through the heel. Bending the knee to the side, stretching out through the heel. And one more time, bending the knee to the side, stretching out through the heel. And then bringing the feet together, the hands towards the feet. And inhaling those wings back up. As we inhale the wings back up, we're going to keep this left arm back up with the flat hand pressing flat and the other hand also being flat like satellite dishes, capturing all those good vibrations. Inhaling the hands together so they kind of pass in the night. And then one hand up, flat, and one hand down. Receiving all those carings. Bringing the hands to the heart. And then they'll both go up together, being Snowy Mountain. And then we're going to exhale down, nice flat back. All the way down to the feet. And you can hook those big toes and squeeze them, energizing those higher centers of the brain. Sending that caring and connection to the brain. Inhaling slowly with the wings going to the sides and up into Snowy Mountain again. And then we're going to inhale into gentle back bend. Coming to the center and exhaling, whirling those arms around, whirling them down and behind the legs, whirling them up and back to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Resetting our minds, resetting our hearts. So once again, we'll send the left flat hand above and the right flat hand below. So catching all those good vibrations from heaven and earth. Giving the neck a little stretch to the side. And then the hands come and they pass like ships in the night. And then the neck gets a stretch in the other way. And we're still receiving those good vibrations. Bringing the hands together at the heart, and then they're both going to float up into Extended Mountain. And bringing the wings to the side, we're diving down to the feet once again. And we're going to squeeze those toes. Breathing in, breathing out while we're hung over. Bending over the third chakra where a lot of the troubles line up. Inhaling the arms up and over the head into Snowy Mountain once again. Breathing down through the feet. Down through the roots of the mountain. Inhaling into a gentle back bend, keeping that back bend in the top part of the back. Nice long neck. Exhaling to center. And once again, we're going to whirl those arms around and down. As they come down, they go back behind the legs, back around the front, and down to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Once again, resetting the mind, resetting the heart, and coloring them both with the colors of caring. Breathing in, breathing out. So one last time, we'll extend the left arm upwards and the right arm downwards. Opening those fingers and the hands so they can catch every positive vibration possible. Letting the head tilt to the side. Breathing in, breathing out. And the hands are going to pass as we exchange them and set them up for receiving shinings, Filling our cups with the beauty of the creation. Bringing both the hands towards the center, and then we'll send both those hands up into Snowy Mountain. We like snowy mountains here. And again, diving with the wings open, coming down to the feet. And if you want to, hooking those big toes. Breathing in and out while we're forward folding. Connecting with the earth. Sweeping the arms out to the side, slowly, slowly coming up into a vertical position. Coming up into Snowy Mountain again and inhaling into a gentle back bend. Filling up with all that sunshine which is coming out. Coming into center and whirling the arms again, bending all the way down. Arms are coming behind us and forwards and slowly down to the heart. So this chant, Om Mani Padme Om, is reminding us of that inner treasure, that inner infinite river that runs within our being. That sense of being a spiritual being first in a physical body.
Theme, and then John came back in. I was wondering what that was all about.
Breathing in that fullness of who we are, and breathing out that fullness of who everybody else is. Breathing in one more time. Breathing out one more time. So now we're getting ready for a balanced pose. So I don't know if you do this in the doorway or if you have a piece of wall. But we're going to do the Nataraj, the dancer today. And so we'll snuggle up, being Valentine's Day, we'll snuggle up close to the wall. Inhaling the arm closest to the wall, up the wall, and maybe touching the wall with that pinky finger. And then with the outer leg, we're going to kick that foot 3 times forward, just so our base leg gets used to this feeling, and 3 times backwards. Before we lift that knee up, and it may come into the hand, or it may not. So focusing on one point. I have a big icicle I'm focusing on. And you can explore that. Can you lift your hand away from the wall? And making sure that you're still close enough to it that you can stabilize your being. Eliminating that self-doubt. Breathing in. Breathing out. While we remember our divine essence. And then bringing that foot down, bringing the arm down, and we'll turn around and practice this on the other side. The dancer, lifting that arm along the wall, developing a relationship with your wall. Snuggling up, finding that spacing that's perfect for you. And once again, kicking this outside foot ahead 3 times, Giving that base leg a chance to get used to standing alone and kicking behind the body 3 times. And then eventually bringing that leg up into the hand or next to the body. Finding a drishti or a focal point to focus the eyes, to breathe the breath of balance. Breathing in, breathing out, stabilizing the body. So you may wiggle on one leg more than the other. Focusing and breathing through your point of focus. And then bringing that leg down. Coming down, and we're going to try that one more time on each side. Coming into position, snuggling the wall, raising the hand, kicking the foot gently, and then raising the foot. Whatever is comfortable for you today. Maybe putting a starfish hand on to steady the body. Maybe rolling the tongue onto the roof of the mouth, which can also steady the mind. Breathing in, breathing out. Om Mani Padme Hum. And then bring in the arm and leg down. Slowly turning around to revisit this side of the body. Bringing this arm up. Gently kicking the foot forwards and backwards. Engaging those muscles. And then flying up into Nataraj. Finding that cosmic rhythm in that dance of life. And seeing if the corners of your mouth will still go up. When you're trying to sustain balance. Breathing in, breathing out, and then dropping that leg and the arm down. And we will come back to the mat. Coming down into a sitting position. That's comfortable for you. And we might bring those soles of the feet together. Deciding whether you want them close to the body or far away from the body. That's something you have to ask the muscles in your hips and legs. Now we're going to gently rock from side to side, massaging that hip socket, the glute and the upper thigh, rocking from side to side. And then we're going to drop our hands behind us, right next to our hips, so we can rock and roll. So rocking and rolling those wings, coming onto the muscle side, feeling those sitting bones and rocking from side to side. And we're gonna do this for 30 minutes. We're gonna do this until Shavasana. Trying to iron out those hips a little bit. And then we'll come down with the hands on top of or below the feet. And doming the back. Making that turtle shell. Reminding ourselves that like the turtle, we take that Om, we take that infinite one with us wherever we go. So, we don't need to be afraid, have doubts. That supreme friend is always with us. Folding forward a little bit with that back and in the hips if they'll let you. Trying to release that back a little bit. As well as the legs. And then walking the hands up the feet, up the legs, until we're in a cross-legged position, and we're gonna roll over those legs actually, because we're coming into tabletop. So spreading those fingers like starfish, as the arms are shoulder width apart, the legs are hip width apart. And we're going to start with some cat-cow. So inhaling, making that valley in the back. And exhaling and doming the back. And maybe pushing with the hands back towards the heels. Listening to the knees and the hips. And as the breath invites us, inhaling, coming up into a neutral back. And into a valley, building that valley in the back. Tailbone up, and then on the exhale, the tailbone goes down. So the tailbone is the rudder, it moves the boat, guides the boat. Coming back onto the heels, and one more time at least, coming up. A neutral back, and then raising the tailbone up. And bringing the tailbone down, doming the back, exhaling back. Inhaling and coming up, and as we come up, I'm going to bring that knee to the elbow and back. So swinging the leg out. Bringing knee to the elbow, doesn't matter which one, because we're going to do them both. Exhaling them both back. Inhaling up, exhaling back. And then bringing that knee home down to the ground. And then we're going to invite the other leg up. So the hands can be right under the body or a little bit above it, where the head is. You don't have to be right under the shoulders. Inhaling the knee to the elbow and back, exhale. Starfish hands. And then bringing that knee home. While we're in tabletop, we're going to take that left hand and raise it up. And we're going to wave to all the living beings on this side. And then we're going to take that hand And it's gonna come right through this eye. So it's like a thread, it's gonna come through this arm, and we're gonna bring our ear down. As we bring the ear down, you can lift that other arm. So breathing in, breathing out, as we're twisting through the eye of the needle. Twisting the body, wringing it out, and then bringing that upper hand down next to the head. And we're going to pull that other arm out and place it into a tabletop again. And then we're going to do the same thing with the right hand, so lifting it up to the sky and waving. And then directing that hand down through this eye of the needle on this side, bringing the ear down. And as we bring the ear down to the mat, we can raise the other hand. And breathing as we're twisting. Bringing the body, mind out. Bringing out all of our troubles. Bringing this hand down next to the head, sliding that arm out and coming into child's pose. Whatever version that you feel like you would like to do with the hands above, over the head, or the hands behind. Just finding your way, maybe spreading the knees. Honoring the earth. Whatever position you choose to release and relax. Taking a time in to reset our mental peace, to reset our heart peace. And then bringing the hands up by the head, we're going to lift the head up and then come down again into getting set up for Bhujangasana, for Cobra. So with the head into the earth, the hands by the ears. The legs can be together or apart. Huddling into the earth for Cobra. Inhaling and raising up the top torso and lifting the arms. Nice long neck. As we fly, we're flying cobras today. Flying cobra. Feeling the breath, breathing the body. And exhaling slowly back down. Making contact with the earth. Bringing that kindness from that relationship we're developing with the earth into this. Inhaling, once again, we're inhaling the head up and inhaling the hands up. We're flying. Feeling the breath. through the tummy, and then exhaling slowly down. Breathing in and breathing out through the earth. Inhaling and coming into any variation of Bujang that you like to practice. You maybe have your starfish hands on, coming up just far enough. Exhaling, coming down slowly, slowly. So Cobra is a weight-bearing pose. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we're going to come up once again, either sliding the arms forward for Sphinx or coming up on the hands. Or doing the flying Cobra. Hopefully you will not have to be the spinning Cobra today. So keep those happy thoughts on. Exhale down. Exhaling down to the earth. Releasing the body mind into the earth. And inhaling and rising up for another day. Spreading those shoulders wide, shining that heart at whatever level you're at. Keeping the elbows close and slowly escalating down. Coming down into the earth, blending with the earth. Taking another complete yogic breath. And coming up one more time. Inhaling. Coming up. Whatever expression of Bujang that suits you today. Being kind to the body, looking over the left shoulder. Coming to the center. Over the right shoulder, coming to center, and coming down. So then we're going to morph from Cobra to downward dog, bringing the hands towards the waist, coming up into tabletop. Bending the knees and walking forwards. And then we're going to inhale the knees up and we're going to walk the dog. So the dogs are a source of a lot of amusement and joy these days. Coming up on the toe on one foot and down in the heel with the other and alternating the feet. Stretching those muscles on the back of the legs. Coming up on the toes and down on the heels. So the heels don't really reach the floor. Up on the toes. So now we're stretching those soles of the feet. And up on the toes one more time. And down. So now we'll bring the knees down. And you might want to put a blanket under your knees for the next one. Inhaling those arms up and over the head. Exhaling them down. So I'm bringing the hands behind my back onto the top of my waist with my fingertips pointed down and inhaling into camel, coming back a little bit and then exhaling forward. And then I'm going to do it again. Inhaling into a gentle back bend and coming up. One more time. And then on this time, I'm going to slide the hands down my sides, forward folding my head down. I'm going to bring my head, the crown of my head into the mat. The hands go down to the ankles. For rabbit pose, Shashtanga. Massaging the top of the head. Then I'm going to bring the hands on either side of the knees and push myself up. Coming up with the wings, all the way over the head. Coming down and once more behind the back. For a variation of camel. Gosh, I've heard that the camels at the zoo, especially the Bactrian camels, the one with 2 humps, they love the snow. They play and dance and chase each other in the snow because they're from Mongolia. Coming down, sliding the hands down, coming down, folding down towards the earth. The hands come down to the ankles and the crown of the head comes into the earth. The glutes are up. Nice inversion for the brain. Sliding the hands back to the knees. Pushing ourselves up. Bringing the hands all the way up. And then onto the back once again. The elbows pointed behind us. Coming into a gentle back bend. And as we come forward with the pelvis and come into a more vertical position, we're coming down for a rabbit again. Bringing the head all the way down, the crown. Bringing the hands down to the ankles. Breathing in and out a couple times. Into the brain. Into that gray matter. Inhaling with the hands by the knees. Coming up again. And we're going to do one more pose while we're on our knees, which is bringing the hands above the head. Exhaling the whole body down. Sliding the hands away from the body. Opening the hands. Bringing the head down to the earth. Leaving all of our troubles and worries at the feet of the stream. Just letting everything go. Bringing the hands down next to the head. Pushing off on the sides of the hands. Bringing them back up. Shining as we exhale our wings down. And back to the heart. Breathing in. Breathing out. And we'll do this 2 more times. Coming up. So we want the knees kind of hip width apart. Bringing the arms up. And then folding forward. So the arms are ahead of us and they're going to slide a little bit away on the mat. Bringing our foreheads down and opening the hands. Just like a tulip opening in the morning. Releasing. Let it, all those negative things creep out through the hands. Feel those worries just rising up out of the hands. Being kind to yourself and letting some of those things go. Bringing the hands back towards the head, either side of the head. pushing off the ground, raising the arms in front and up, shining the arms down. Feeling those shoulder blades in the back. Bringing the hands to the heart once again, to that heart intention, that caring and connection place. And then we'll do this one more time, raising the hands up, holding in the hips, coming down, coming down. The hands will hit the floor first, and then the head. Resting the chest on the legs, or not if the knees are complaining, and opening the hands. Opening the hands. Releasing again, some worry, some trouble. Giving our worries away. Inhaling the hands down to the head, pushing off again with the arms straight ahead, up above our heads as in a snowy mountain, and bringing those arms back down and to the heart. So sealing that mudra with a kiss. So next we're going to come down to the ground, and we're going to come onto our backs. So coming all the way down. So coming down onto the back, resting the arms by the side. And just relaxing and cuddling into the earth for a minute. So breathing in, breathing out. Setting your awareness on that inhale breath and outhale breath. Inhaling those arms up to the sky and over the head. So the arms are maybe resting on the floor over the head, and then inhaling them up towards the sky and exhaling them down towards the hips and the floor. Inhaling both arms up and over the head. Exhaling them down by the hips. So this time we'll again lift and inhale both arms up over the head. And then we're going to exhale the right arm down. And as it reaches the floor, we're going to turn the head towards the right. So giving a turn to the neck to the right. Coming back to center. Inhaling that right arm up and over the head. Then we're going to exhale the left arm up and down to the hips. And then we're going to turn the head towards the left, towards the other side. And then turn the head towards the center and lifting this arm up. We're going to bring the right hand up towards the sky again and the left hand up towards the sky. We're going to lift our right leg up to the sky as well and bring that knee into the chest. So we're interlacing both hands around that knee Massaging that knee into the chest. And then we'll bring both the arms and the knee up. So the arms will go over the head, and we're going to tick that leg down. So maybe ticking it down 6 or 8 ticks. And then as it reaches the floor, we're going to inhale both arms up to the ceiling. We're going to bring that left leg up to the ceiling, and then we're going to bend that left knee, interlacing the hands around the knee and pulling it into the chest. So if this is too intense for the knee, be sure to interlace your hands under the knee. So you should be able to feel that all through the back, pressing it into the chest and out the back. And then the leg and both arms will go back up to the sky. Arms will go overhead, and the knee and leg are going to tick its way down. So once again, inhaling both arms up to the sky and bringing both legs up, knees bent, and interlacing the hands around both knees this time. Then sending both legs and both arms up to the sky, and we're going to drop those arms over our head, and we're going to tick those legs down. And at some point they'll reach the ground. And then we're going to try this series one more time. Inhaling the right arm down to the hips. Laying on the floor, and then we're going to turn the head towards the right. And then turn it back towards center as we inhale that arm up and over the head. And the left arm will inhale up the center and down, and then we're going to turn the left head, the neck to the left. How many heads do you have on today? Inhaling to the center. Inhaling this arm up and over the head. So next we're going to inhale both arms to the ceiling and the right leg coming up to the ceiling. And then we'll bend that right leg and either bring the hands intertwined over the knee or under the knee to bring that leg in towards the chest and out the back. Massaging all those organs in there. This is really good for the digestive tract and the lungs. Inhaling those 3 limbs up to the sky, the arms go overhead, the leg tips down. So with a nice flat and bright foot, coming down to the floor. And then we'll inhale both the arms up. Inhaling the leg up and exhaling as we interlace around the knee or under. Feeling that relaxation in the back. Inhaling those 3 limbs up. The arms continue going all the way over the head, and the leg ticks, 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 ticks down to the floor. And the heel eventually hits the floor. Inhaling both the arms up. Inhaling both the legs up. Engaging that core. Folding the legs, bending the knees, And as we come into the hugging up those knees, we can roll the back from side to side. And then opening the arms, and we're going to open them into a T position on each side of the body. And then we're going to bend the legs and turn towards one side. So trying to bring those knees maybe up towards in the direction of that arm, and turning the head towards the arm that is behind. Reclining twist. Breathing into this twisting pose, twisting the hips, twisting the back, and then inhaling the knees back to center. We're going to drop both those knees to the other side and look at the arm that we've left behind. We're going to do this a couple more times. Inhaling the knees to the center. Exhaling them to the side. Looking at the arm we left behind. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling the earth supporting the body. And then bringing the knees both up to center and turning them down the other side. Looking at the arm that's behind you. Giving a twist around the belly. You can always place one hand around the hip and massaging that hip. This is your Valentine's Day massage. Letting the hip know that you care about it. Bringing the knees to center and over to the other side and rubbing that hip up. So we're doing equal opportunity yoga today. Just giving a tender, loving touch to the hips to remind them who loves them. Coming back to the center. So the soles of the feet are, where are the soles of the feet? The soles of the feet are in the earth and the knees are bent. The legs are hip width apart. And the arms are going to glide down by the hips once again. And we're going to engage those feet and raise the hips up and raise the arms up. So here we go. Inhaling up arms, up back and hips. The arms go over the head. Make sure the soles of the feet are all in the ground and not curling up, and then exhaling everything back down. Then we're going to go up and fly again, inhaling the hips and the arms. The arms go over the head, all the way down towards the floor. Long neck. Exhaling, bringing the arms up towards the sky and down towards the floor with the hips at the floor. And then this time we'll inhale everything up. Arms go over, and we're going to hold the hips up for a few breaths. Inhaling into the bridge. Trying to keep those knees straight and not collapsing inside, which they sometimes will want to do. Maybe be that bridge of caring and connection in all our relationships. Holding that bridge up, steady and firm, and then exhaling, bringing the arms up, and of course that's the cue for the hips to also come down. Everything is down and resting in the earth. And then we'll try this one more time, inhaling the arms and the hips up. Arms keep going overhead. Hips reach up into a strong bridge. A bridge that will sustain the health of our relationships. And then exhaling, the arms up, and of course now the hips can go down. Straightening the legs and maybe bouncing the knees a little bit off the mat. Breathing in and breathing out. So while we're here, we'll bend those legs up in the air and do happy baby, which is bringing our arms inside our legs and around our calves and rolling from side to side. Rolling that back out. And I think we'll be doing this for 20 minutes. Oh, this is wonderful. And then we'll unwind our arms and come down, and everybody has 1 minute to do a pose of your choice before deep relaxation. So if there's a pose that you missed today, or that the muscles of your body are asking, please do this, you have a minute to do that. Finding a position that gives your body release, that gives the body joy on this Valentine's Day. Loving up that body. Breathing in and out and remaining committed to that breath of love, that breath of caring and connection. For caring for the vehicle that you have, this life, and for the world as well. Carrying that into the world. And then we'll start moving into deep relaxation on the floor. Snuggling into the floor. So we're going to do a little bit different, do deep relaxation a little bit differently today. Lying down in Shavasana. Breathing in and out. Turning the head from side to side. And relaxing into the earth. Breathing in and breathing out. And noticing again where the body is connecting with Mother Earth. And breathing in and breathing out of each one of those points with softness, with gentleness. So breathing out the head as it touches the floor, and the shoulders and the back and the hips, the legs, the heels. Just as if we're painting softness, that feeling of softness into each zone of the body. So coming back up, floating up back to that wisdom center that is between the eyes. And breathing in sweetness, breathing out sweetness, all through that wisdom center in the middle of your forehead and between the eyes. And then sinking the gaze down into the heart space. And in that heart center, breathing in again, breathing out. Inviting the breath to breathe gentleness into the heart. Swirling in and out of the heart with the breath. And bringing that gentleness into the heart. And then we'll float the breath down to the left foot. Gliding all the way down the body into that left foot. Breathing that breath of sweetness throughout that foot. Just like we did earlier with those figure eights. Breathing into the muscles and bones, all of the toes. And kind of charging the breath with something positive. Charging the breath with caring and connection with all that makes up those elements of the foot. And then eventually coming into the ankle and floating up through the lower leg, below the knee. And just kind of breathing back and forth into that calf and into that shin, into that ankle. God bless those ankles. Bringing gentleness in. And then coming up into the knee and also the upper leg. Swirling that breath of softness around the upper leg. All those muscles and bones, arteries and veins, all that's in there. And then coming up to the left hip and making swirling breaths, breathing in and out, that softness, that gentleness throughout that whole hip area, through the joint, through the muscles, through everything that is residing in the hip. Breathing in and breathing out. Then we will glide with the breath over towards the other hip, but then all the way down to that right foot. Breathing and circulating the breath through that foot, through the heel, through every toe. Breathing gentleness and release. And then moving up to the ankle and swirling around that lower leg with the breath. Going around that ankle, going around the calf, the shin. Breathing back and forth through that lower leg and then coming into the knee. Boy, you might love up those knees. Loving up that knee, breathing into that entire upper leg. The hip, the sciatic nerve, the bones and muscles that are there. Coming all the way up into the hip, swirling that sense of softness, charging the breath around and through that right hip especially. Releasing and relaxing those hips and remembering our love of our hips. Before we leave the hips, glide from side to side through that pelvic cavity, swirling that incoming breath, that outgoing breath with gentleness. Shifting through those pelvic areas. And then we'll move up into our abdomen, right below the navel first, and massage the breath all through our abdominal cavity. Coming a little bit above the navel as well. Going back and forth and swirling the breath. Through our reproductive organs, through our digestive organs, and then slowly floating up into the thorax. And the thoracic cavity, boy, we have a lot going on there. Making those figure eights from side to side. Touching all of those organs that reside therein. There's, the stomach, the lungs, the ribs, the sternum, kidneys, stomach. Just gently touching each one of those organs, especially if you have one that's kind of imbalanced and talks to you from time to time. Breathing up that caring and connection through that organ. Coming up through the lungs and the heart. Coming up through the body. Floating up into that left shoulder and massaging that left shoulder with the breath. Swirling in and out, and then it starts to dive down through that arm. Goes down to the elbow and swirls back up with the breath. Dives down to the lower arm and the wrist. Swirling that breath around, and then eventually into the hand, into the palm, into each and every finger, into those sometimes too busy hands, and sending that sense of that feeling of peace into that hand. Releasing the tension in the hand, relaxing the hand. And then the breath is going to float up through that arm that we just massaged and slide over to the other shoulder and swirl around that shoulder, going into the shoulder girdle, touching on the back a little bit as it swirls down the arm to the elbow. So we breathe into that upper arm, around the elbow, and down into the lower arm, and the wrist, and sinking down, breathing into the hand, the palm, breathing into each finger, that feeling of being at rest, being at peace, and relaxing. So then with the breath, we'll float up the arm and towards the center of the chest and into the neck. Breathing into all those muscles in the neck. Starting with the muscles in front and swirling around behind the neck, and you might want to go into the top shoulder, into the trapezius a little bit. Those traps can get really tight. So sending peace and relaxation. And then floating up into the face. Relaxing that jaw, relaxing the eyes and the cheeks, relaxing all the features of the face. So we're circulating the breath through the entire face, the nose, the ears. Bless them, each and every one. And then at some point, the breath is going to go back inside the head into all the nooks and crannies of the brain. It's kind of making those swirling figure 8 movements as we breathe into our blessed brains. Eventually moving the breath out of the top of the head and floating down the whole front of the body, kind of like a body scan, breathing peace and relaxation into the entire front of the body, scanning all the way down to the feet and coming back up. And then we'll do the same with the back. Scanning down the back all the way to the heels, all the way up to the skull, and then all the way down to the heels again. And then we will imagine the whole body surrounded by this warm cloud, which is encircling us with love and caring, which is circling us with the connection and peace. Breathing in breathing out. I'm just going to sing a short tune today since I'm going over time. Kevalam Bhavanam 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 Kevalam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Kevalam Bhavanam Namaskar, everyone, and may your practice today bring joy to you and all those that you share your Valentine's Day with today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, MJ.
Thank you, MJ.